This I love. This, I hope they implement it correctly. What's going on, everyone? Talon back here, and today we have a bunch of updates regarding the Limit Z Awakening, Limit Breaker, whatever you want to call it. Essentially, I'm just taking the literal translation, which is literally Limit Z Awakening, if you translated the original article that was given to us in VJump last month. So I'm just going to go by that name. Who knows? Maybe it's going to catch on. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, some people are just easily going to call it Limit Breaker because that's what a lot of other these kind of games have and everything. So it's hard to say. But anyway, there is a little campaign kicking off right now, and this will be coming out next week, it looks like. And this falls right in line with what we saw last week in the news where it was saying about the middle of November, give or take. So I'm going to go over the campaign information. I'm going to go over the translations that I found when looking at more of the information they've given us. I'm assuming we'll get more as we get closer to the release and everything. And just my overall thoughts on what it could potentially be, because as of right now, we actually do not know just how many people could get this, if it's still only going to be Super Saiyan 3 Goku and all that stuff. So let's get straight into this, okay? So first off, let's go into the news and let's take a look at the little campaign that's going on. It's actually pretty simple. Oh, by the way, all strength banners around, if you want to summon for that. Got some old guys in there, so you might as well go for it. Okay, so first off, let's go into the campaign here. So this is literally preparing for the Limit Z Awakening, Limit Breaker, whatever you want to call it again. It's just preparing for it. It's preparing, it's helping us prepare for it, essentially, okay? So the way it's going to go is that from today, so the 8th, which is Japan time, which by the most time you're watching this, it's actually probably going to be closer to the 9th of Japan time. And this is going until the 16th, which is Thursday, which a lot of people are speculating that it's either going to be that Thursday, the 16th, or it'll be on the next day, Friday, the 17th. Hard to say. I'm going to say the 16th, but I could easily see it being the 17th. It's Friday, the whole 9 yards and everything like that. So, but anyway, so that's essentially how long this is going through. Now, what is this little campaign, essentially? They're opening up every single orb stage to us every single day from now until next week. So you get the strength, you get the intel, the agility, the physical, and the tech, okay? But you can only do them once, and then it is guaranteed that you will run into the secret enemy, you know, the one where you fight all 3 enemies from the stage, and then you get all the orbs for them, right? Which is great. I love it. So I am definitely taking advantage of that. Those physical orbs are going straight into my Super Vegito. And then I think what they're trying to show us, though, the fact that this is, you know, in order to get those medals to take our TURs to the next level, that pre-LR state, whatever you want to call it, essentially, it's probably going to be tough, would be my assumption. Again, I don't know what limitations are on the stages. I don't know, you know, I know what we're limited to bring with us in terms of items and such, but in terms of teams, I don't know if there is a limitation on that, whether it's a mono category, the whole, we just don't know yet, okay? So anyway, so we're allowed to take on these orbs. You're gonna get tons of orbs, throw them at your guys, and, you know, I would easily suggest spreading them out, right? Don't focus on just one guy and then say, okay, well, my mono leader is good to go, so, you know, everyone else I really don't care about. Spread them out, guys. Give them to a lot of people. I'm giving, like, some of my tech guys, my tech orbs, to, like, my tech Vegito and everything, because I finally got a max SA thanks to that farmable Vegito-based Vegito form. I've been giving them to my Gold Frieza. I've been giving them to a lot of different people and everything like that. So it's definitely really good to just go about that route. Obviously, you want to, you know, make some of your stronger guys, you know, much stronger and everything, but at the same time, don't neglect some of your other characters. They can actually really be helpful in a pinch. So keep that in mind, okay? Second is that there are also daily missions and then overall missions. So the 3 daily missions are basically if you going through those 5 stages. If you beat one of those stages, you get 60 small orbs of all types. It's not just the type color you see here. It's all types. And then if you beat 3 of the stages, then you get the medium ones for all types, which is 35. And then you get 5 large ones for all types if you beat all the 5 stages, essentially, okay? Which makes sense, right? There's only 5 stages, beat all 5, boom, you get everything, okay? If you can clear all the stages basically 20 times in total, it seems, then you'll get 5 Dragon Stones. So by the earliest you can get this is next Tuesday, maybe? There's a couple days you could skip, obviously, and everything like that, but obviously, why would you want to skip these kind of free orbs, right? This is pretty good stuff right here. And then the last one is if you beat it 30 times, or beat them all a total of 30 times, then you get 1 old kind. Cool. I'll take it. Why not? All right. So other than that, though, that's basically how it's going about. This is only, again, goes until the 16th next week at 11:59 p.m. So, yeah, keep that in mind. So, anyway, so that's pretty cool right there. This is obviously just going over the information that we already know about these stages, that you fight, you go through once, you fight one of the bosses normally, and then you run to the secret character, which allows you to fight them all, and boom, you get a bunch of orbs. Everyone loves it, right? Win-win for everybody. Now comes the information about the new mode, okay? Or the new way to obtain these Limit Z medals, or however we're going to do it, okay? So all they've really given us right now, though, is some steps about how it's supposed to go in terms of how many bosses we fight, what kind of teams we are limited to or not limited to bringing. We don't know yet, but we do know what we can bring in terms of items and everything. And like I said at the very beginning of my little intro, or as some people like to title them, cheesy intros. Like I said, I still like making them. They're pretty fun. But it seems if they could implement this one of two ways. I'm going to get into that in my final thoughts after I show you guys the translations on this, okay? So obviously this is stuff that we've seen before. New power coming, essentially. It's nothing new. So and now we're going for points, okay? This literally says point, though, okay? So they literally just lay out these points. Not steps, you know, like do this step, and you get it, although it kind of is. It's just telling you the basic points that they're showing us, and we're probably going to get more information next week. So first point is that you are going to be facing off enemies. This says Teki ni, and then, you know, if you beat them, then every time you beat a enemy, the level goes up. So this says level ga ageru. Ageru means to grow or to increase. So their level will increase when you beat said enemy. I'm assuming it means the boss, which again could have multiple enemies, because it'd be a little weird if you're fighting four people, you beat one little guy, and the next thing you know, the rest of them all of a sudden increase by one level. That would be really weird. I don't see that happening. So again, you're gonna beat the boss, and then, you know, the level will increase. Okay, so pretty standard. We kind of expected something like that. Point 2, no continues, which, you know, we see a lot in these days, and no items. Yeah, this literally says that. It literally says continue to support item. Nothing. And I was like, oh, okay then. This is gonna be interesting, to say the least. Okay, so and also it doesn't cost any act, so that is really nice right there, at least. But still, it's just like, oh, this will be fun right here. So all right, then it says point 3, basically, that there are checkpoints, okay, which kind of makes sense, right? Because there seems to be 5 levels if you go back up to here, and notice how it says enemy level 3 and increases enemy level 4. I'm assuming it starts at 1, and 5 is probably the max, which makes sense because these Limit Z Awakening medals essentially allow you to go to level 15 now instead, or level 140 and SA level 15, which kind of makes sense, so I could see that easily. But anyway, so it's basically saying that there are checkpoints, checkpoint do, which, you know, basic katakana right there. Basically, though, the more you go through this, and then there are certain checkpoints, so that if you happen to die at one point, then you're gonna be just right back at the checkpoint. You don't have to worry about anything, you know, starting all the way back at the beginning, which is really nice. One thing they do mention, though, is that if you get to the last one right here, so this is Saikyo, so Saigo, so last level, essentially. If you get to the last level and you beat it, then you can go back through and select which one you want to fight. But then it seems that it does take act, right here, right where it says acto ga skoshi tonari, which means it does. It seems to require it. I'm not familiar exactly with the kanji, but basically, from what I can tell, that's what it means. You need to use some act. Again, I don't know how much though, so again, we'll have to see when it comes out, or if they give us more information. But as you can see down here, it takes 0 act, but the moment you hit this right here, then it's going to require a little bit of act, it seems, okay? Again, they might change that. I don't know. This is all just based on the kanji they literally give us, okay? And then this says point 4, by clearing it, you can get special prizes, which is going to be the medal. So it's random on the medal drops, apparently. I'm not sure exactly how it works. But then it also says that you can also get chances to drop stones and these kais. Now, I did see in the fact that some people think that this is going to be maybe missions, missions for stones and missions for the kais would be my guess. I highly, highly, highly doubt they would keep a mode in the game, however long or however short it's around for, I don't know if they're going to make it like only on the weekends or something like that, where you can farm these kais and stones. I highly doubt that. As much as we'd want that, it ain't happening. I highly, highly doubt it. Hey, if I'm proven wrong though, I will jump for joy. But again, I don't see it happening, unfortunately. So that's what it that's what it literally says, though. It says you have chances to get prizes, essentially. And it's just like, yeah, but this is Bandai. We kind of know what they mean, right? So again, could be wrong. If I am, great. If you know, but other than that, though, and these are the Grand Kais. They increase the SA level of types, not just anybody. That's what the old Kais are for. The Grand Kais that are also what you can get from Super Battle Road. So every time you beat that, you can go and collect 2 from the Baba Shop. So yeah, and then literally the last point is just saying like, hey, you take the medals, you can Z-Awaken these guys, they go to level 140, and their SA can go to 15. Okay, so obviously these are for TUR guys. Now I'm gonna get into the just a little bit of my thoughts in the end here, and that is just simply we don't really know who gets this and who doesn't. We've seen obviously Super Saiyan 3 Goku. He's in here, he's in the article and everything, so we know that. But they have not 100% said, hey, by the way, only Goku's getting to start off, and we will eventually bring more people into this. They could easily say, okay, we're going to start off with the original model leader. So maybe Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Tech Cell, Full Power Frieza, Ultimate Gohan, and I'm blanking on the last one. Who am I blinking on? I don't even remember. But oh, Brawly, that's who it was. Yeah. So that's, you know, they could do something like that. I don't know if they're just gonna say, okay, all Dokkan Fest 120, you know, leaders or whatever, or cards that we have, every single event that we have, they automatically get it. You know, because there are 120%. Or 120%, I don't know why I keep saying that, 120, level 120 guys who have, like, Rebirth Link, and they do have Dokkan, the Fierce Battle Link, but they don't, you know, have their own stage, essentially, like Mighty Mask and all, or not Mighty Mask, but Mass Sand and all that kind of stuff. So, again, we don't know, right? You know, they could easily do it just like the ability system where we originally thought it was going to be a lot older cards that could only take advantage of it, and they're like, oh, hey, surprise, by the way, anyone can do it. And at that time, we had just gotten Vegeta Blue and Rose and everything, so yeah, it's kind of up in the air on this one. So again, they could roll it out in certain ways, it could roll out in another way, we're not really sure. So, and then my last thoughts is just simply the fact that we're not allowed to use items in this. And if you remember the article, it said, you know, it was suggesting to bring along extreme tech guys against the Goku stages. So does that mean we can only bring the opposite of the type, you know, like bring type advantage? Are they going to be hitting just as hard as Super Battle Road, or just a little less hard, but harder than your average Dokkan Fest? You know, these are the things we don't know, and the thing I will be skeptical about when it comes to this type of thing, because originally we all thought the same thing about Super Battle Road. Look where that got us. So again, I still like the mode, but if you guys have seen my video on thoughts and ways to maybe just improve it a little bit, go and check that out as well. But yeah, so it's really hard to say what's going to be happening with this. Again, hey, I'm all for the free orbs, though. I'm not going to turn a blind eye to that one. That is awesome. I'm going to take those like no tomorrow, and I'm going to beef up my guys like no tomorrow. So I hope you guys take advantage of that too. And by next week, we should have all the information, and we're going to get the mode, and I'll make tons of videos on it, and we'll have to see exactly what's going on. Again, I don't know how long it's going to be around for, if it's only a weekend thing, or weekday thing, no, who knows? We'll have to see. So yeah, so anyway, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Let me hear your thoughts down below in the comments, as always. What do you think about all this, you know, extra beefing up of these older cards and everything? Do you think it's only going to go to the older cards? Do you think they're going to pull a fast one, just like the ability system, and just simply give it to everybody, or only to Dokkan Fest characters? We'll have to see. I'm going to guess, if I had to guess right now, I'm going to say it's going to be one of two ways. It's either going to go A, they're going to roll it out with the original mono leaders, then like the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and Tech Beerus and such, then the 70%, then the Demigod, which is 120, or the 100%, then the 120%, and so on. They'll roll it out like that, would be my guess. Or they're going to just simply say, okay, anyone that has a Dokkan Fest, boom, here you go. That's all. So kind of hard to say on that one right there. So, and I just realized actually when I said that Mass Sand didn't have his own event, he did. But like other Gokus, for example, like the physical Baba Shop Goku, I'll take that as an example from the Angel Goku events. That right there would be an example of he's 120% or level 120, but he is obviously not the main focus of that event. So yeah, again, we'll have to see exactly what's going to happen. So anyway, guys, leave your comments down below. Leave a like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you happen to be new. And until next time, everyone, I will see you in the next one.